Does the Indian auto industry need government support to get it through what appears to be quite a challenging period? And your point is very well taken in terms of the unemployment issue and the unemployment risk. And it's a challenge that other industries have warned off as well, whether it's textiles or whether it's the jewelry industry in India.
Raja, one of the biggest things about India is the large domestic economy. The domestic economy is pretty large, and unlike a lot of countries which depend on exports, for us it's predominantly the domestic sector. And the domestic sector in terms of GDP or in terms of most consumption patterns has been growing quite strongly. So yes, there is a risk of unemployment, there is a risk of falling fallen incomes, but all these things are not absolutely catastrophic. There's a strong, in case the worst case scenario plays out. We also have other countries where we could export to, where we could shift our export basket, but it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a lot of time. Hopefully they sort it out. And if they don't sort it out, we need to also work with the government to see how they could help us out. I'm sure the government can't help us completely out of the situation, but there are other ways where we could mitigate the risk. As I told, the domestic sector, even in the auto sector, has been growing quite strongly. So there are other options available.
Can you break down which verticals within the industry have the most to lose?
You're talking about the automobile industry?
Yes, sir.
We hardly export any fully made vehicles to the US. So it's mostly the component. And as you said, the component sector probably accounts for about 7 billion rupees per year, $1 billion per year. So it's not going to be a small figure, but it's going to be big. But the worst case scenario does play out, we have to make sure that we are able to mitigate these risks. There are other markets available. You have Europe, you have Asia, you have Japan, and there are also ways in which we need to probably shift the consumption pattern back to domestic production and consumption. So it's not going to be easy, but at the same time, if it comes into, I mean, as you rightly said, India has been pretty protective regarding our agri sector, our fishermen, and our poultry sector, our dairy sectors have been something which has been closely protected. It could be because of food security, for national security, defense too. So we need to first take care of our primary interest, which is the interest of the nation. Yes, we also will be affected, but at the same time, the security of the nation is very important. But however, we dearly hope that some kind of a deal can be thrashed out. Otherwise, it's not going to be great for anyone concerned. And